certified safe. So this, the product that goes from the distro into retail, anybody that comes to my distro, they're already gonna have this. This is included. This is a premium service, but not a premium price point. This is peace of mind. You can't pay for peace of mind. But if you go get a cream for your mom, you know, whoever's mom or dad or whatever, and next thing you know, hey man, dude, son, the THC cream that you bought me, man, my arthritis went away. The fuck, I got skin cancer. Why? Because the oil was dirty, and residuals, solids, pesticides, heavy metals. And if it's absorbing through your skin, it's nanotechnology. So that means that oil is gonna go directly to your bloodstream, and now you got skin cancer in that area. Or now you got cancer in your body. They cured me of my freaking arthritis,
right?
But now I got freaking cancer in that area. So that's why this term certified safe will understand the chain of custody. Now, Omar says he's an organic farmer. He claims he's organic. But I go, now I ask him, hey, where do you get your amendments? Oh, I get them over here. And I go check that out. Being a node. You're taking it off? Hey, are the other guys still here?
The big Chuck?
Yeah.
I think he is.
Okay. All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow. So now I have to go see if this person and his amendments are now organic, because it has to be organic all the way through. I was just, somebody who was claiming the other day, Chris, I think you were here, one of you was here, about farm, grass-fed animals. I guess they only have to be grass-fed, and they feed them all kinds of stuff, but right before they go into
What's called finishing. When you finish the cattle, you have to you grass feed them instead of giving them grains.
The last 45 days, what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when they say, oh, it's grass-fed. But the consumer's thinking, you're thinking the freaking animal's been grass-fed from the time they fell out of the mom's, right?
Yeah.
And from that point on, it's drinking the milk and then it's eating grass. No, it's the last 45 days. That's a false statement. That's a misconception. You're misleading the buyer. There's no misleading here, guys. In order to become a node on the lead chain, it's expensive. It's $25,000 to $50,000. But you're a verifier. You're trying to catch all the bad actors. You know, right? It's the bonus. But if that does well, which this is gonna do well, the likelihood of you becoming a millionaire off a $25 node is gonna be exponential.
It'll be more.
$25,000.
It'll be more exponential if that was in a public vehicle that drove the share price.
I need help.
10 cents to $15.
Correct. I need help.
In the world, what people don't understand is you have the revenue source, right? The hustle that's here.
Yep.
The hustle that we do in the cannabis industry.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, that pays the bills, that creates value. But at the end of the day, you have the other revenue source, which is the capital market, and the capital market is the one that is driven by, look, I raised $28 million and I had not one single sale. Do you understand that? Not a single sale. Well, how do you do that? Because of speculation, projections, and value in the market and how. But we spend almost $2 million in just marketing, advertising in the capital markets. You know, we passed the environmental, boom, all of Canada knew about it. We got the approved license, boom. That's how we created the value for the company, and it's speculation. At one point it'll turn into revenue, and you don't have to be actually creating profit to create value in the company. You can continue to raise, and that's how you drive it. Eventually, the markets will correct themselves and will catch up and will want you to have some positives, you know, quarterlies and yearlies and annual reports. But that's all through positive information. That's, you know, being out on the money show, being part of the 420 advertisements, being out, you gotta be present, just like you're taking the meetings to create the deals here and there. You gotta be there at the financial markets to have those conversations, talk to those people that are going to be bringing in institutional money.
Correct.
You'll bring institutional money to the technology,
Yep.
not right now to the industry. And that's where the opportunity lies. So that's where I think, I appreciate being here today on a Friday night.
I told you that call was not for a reason, bro.
And I was only here just to figure out how we could just create synergies and bring and aggregate everything that I've had in the past 30 years of relationships built in Humboldt. I have 4 generations of people up there. People call it Murder Mountain. We call it Rancho Sequoia, you know. And up there, it's there, Mendocino, Yolo, Nevada City, all those areas grow weed. So I was just down here because I know what Omar does, I know what he did in the past. I had the opportunity to work with him in 2018, and I accidentally called the wrong Omar. and he says, "Oh, Dave, what's up?" And, "Hey, we gotta connect. I'm here down in Linwood. I just, instead of not working in Cudahy, I'm in Linwood with Sal." And I thought it was Sal Franco because I have a friend that's named Sal Franco. I said, "Sal Franco?" He said, "No, it's another buddy of mine." But that's why I'm down there. But going back to the capital markets, we have, it's not my first rodeo. I've done it a couple of times. I've sat on boards enough to understand, play the game, talk the talk, but at the same time, by all means, I'm not the Wall Street expert, you know, but I just know how to start several
I talked about Sal about you a long time ago, so I think Kyle with the mine and everything, that's why, I mean, remember the guy that was telling you that he was in Canada and everything, you know, raising money and everything, so.
I mean, I jokingly said that three months before an election, all this bad shit, right? But then if you Google my name and put High Hampton, you're gonna see I broke a $19.6 million deal. I went from the business development guy that found 3 Canadian capital market guys, 4 attorneys, and a friend that I knew from Kelowna that said, "Dave, can you come and help us? We've been in Coachella for like a week and we can't figure shit out." In 4 hours, I cleaned it all up for them, became the VP of business development, got them talking to all the right people, became the CEO, raised a total of $28 million, stepped down as the CEO, consulted the new CEO that we brought in. That guy convinced the board to double down on extraction, and he gave a beautiful projection of how liters of distillate will forever be at $8,000 a liter. We know what happened, right? So I wrote a memo to the board and said, that's not sustainable. I continued my year of consulting them. They decided to go a different direction. I cashed out and doubled down and started the project in West Sacramento, the one in downtown LA. And then I still hold those 10 acres that I need, that I want to put those hoop houses still down in Coachella. But that's where I'm at now. That's where I'm at now, and those relationships, they're knocking on my door and they're like, "Hey, we have this, we have that." I have Cat 3, I don't have Cat 3, and that's why I came down here. And then now this systemic understanding of the industry and how it could be wrapped up and packaged. Guys,
Yeah,
this is like,
it's the connection of everything.
this is like tons and tons of fucking money. This is not just becoming rich. This is the generational money.
That's what I've been saying that this whole time. I said, this CannaTek will make 100,000 times more money than my cannabis company ever will.
You're the second person that has talked to me about the NFT. And the only other person that had ever mentioned this type of, but not to this level, he is a lieutenant, no, a captain, graduated from West Point, and currently works for the federal government in Atlanta, Georgia. And he's one of the guys that is doing stuff in Atlanta, Georgia with cannabis. And is well connected with the federal government. That he was assigned to do the military portion of back-end deployments for all the COVID sites that popped up and all the deployment of throughout the country and the allotments in different states. And he was the only one that was talking about this. And then he kind of just got busy and started doing other stuff.
See,
But you got the passion, you got the heart. I think you have the pedigree too. Just in the hour and a half that we've been here, you know, you went to LMU, right, for law school. Where'd you do your undergrad?
Long Beach State.
Long Beach State. Yeah. And you've been in different industries. You know, you've tried the law enforcement, so you understood that systemic. You play in politics. You talk to the right people in Belize. You know, there is a wealth of opportunity. You just have to have the team. So who's the one that's developing the back end parts of this?
That would be Billy, my CFO.
That would be who?
Billy, he's my CFO. He's in fintech.
And
He's been doing fintech for 25 years. So we passed it on because there's only so much he can do, and then we outsource.
outsourced.
So we've been outsourcing for the last.
So he's the 50,000 foot level guy that creates the framework, that then all the building gets outsourced for.
Yeah, I mean, you did I created the token, but I couldn't create the token. You know, so that's why I said, hey, I need your help, because I'm you know, my skill set can only go so far.
So how much money do you think you need?
We went to a venture capitalist group out of Long Beach, and Billy went for the jugular. He was talking about like 50 million, right? I think that was a very soft 50 million. Do I think we actually need 50 million to, if we were to use 50, or raise 50 million? You're talking, this is a juggernaut. This is global. They won't be able to take it global. You know, 50 million would be able to pay for, it's constant upgrading coding. That's the thing. That's why it's not 50 million to pay me a healthy fat salary. No, it's constantly upgrading this because there are so many layers to this. We're the first right now to own $3.4 million of sports memorabilia in the metaverse. And it's actually attached to, let me show you.
So what do you mean, first in sports memorabilia?
Oh.
In the NFT?
Mm-hmm. See, that was a smirk.
I thought there was more money out there in sports memorabilia.
There
than
is.
NFT.
No, I'm gonna give you something for free, right? Because we haven't signed any NDAs. There are NFTs, which is digital art. If you buy an NFT, which he purchased an NFT last year, and I said, Chris, how much did you pay for it? Was it $200 or $200? I said, Chris, you purchased this digital art. Where's the utility? If you have zero utility, you purchase a big fat zero. The utility, my NFTs have IP attached to them. The utility in my NFTs have an actual physical item attached to it. If you want to own the Mona Lisa, right? Let's say the Mona Lisa was for sale, and I wanted to buy that Mona Lisa, or I wanted to sell the Mona Lisa, and he wanted to be part of this Mona Lisa sale, right? Well, it's like becoming a shareholder. I'll create an NFT, create the digital image of the Mona Lisa, and now everybody can buy it. I want to raise 100 million. I sell it for $1. You're an owner at $1 for the digital asset. Once he is a prince of Brunei, or some Saudi Arabian quadrillionaire, right? He says, I want to buy that freaking Mona Lisa. As an NFT shareholder, for $1, when he buys it for 500 billion or 500 million, all the shareholders get cashed out.
5x.
Yeah, bro. What I'm doing here is, I have a different business model. Providing a service, I'm also providing a guarantee. If you work with us and you're coming through here, and this gentleman here creates his trades here, they're all NFT, they're protected. They all have digital, Coca-Cola, Pfizer just made a large acquisition in Texas. None of you guys, I say that with a lot of cockiness. A lot of you guys didn't know that Pfizer bought this building in Austin.
With a lot of confidence.
Pardon?
You say it with a lot of
I
confidence.
say it because I understand my industry better than most people. Because I do my due diligence. I follow things and I say, this is what's gonna happen. I've been on the money. So Pfizer did this, bought a $22 million building, an acquisition, right? It's in the city of Austin. Why? Because Austin's the only city in the state of Texas that has medical marijuana use. They convinced their shareholders to buy this building, even though medical, it's only for R&D. But you know what's gonna happen when Pfizer, when Texas goes, there's 3 golden states, California, New York, Texas. There's 3 golden states. When Pfizer, now that they bought this building, now they convinced their shareholder, whoever the genius was for the acquisition is a genius. You know how long it takes to do policy? You're a city council. It took us 4 years here, out of the 6 years we've been here, to finally get open because the city council, the freaking, the city manager died, and then they revived him, and then there was 3 other vampires that were there, and then 2 zombies, and one of them rose from the dead, right? I'm like, motherfucker, like, bro, we can't open up here because we need
Friday the 13th and fucking Jason.
And Jason, yeah. And this shit was fucked up.
No.
Because me and my partner Hector are paying a monthly net here just the rent, the $23,000 a month.
How many square feet?
11,000 square feet. Yeah, so we're doing this because of obviously, like, you know, Hector has extreme faith in me, you know, and the vision.
And your bank accounts are getting shut down.
My freaking yes, my God.
You're bleeding.
We're bleeding.
You're a
but
sitting duck.
we are, but not we were. Not we are. But my
You were.
yeah,
You are.
we were. But most importantly, guys, where I was going with this Pfizer. This whoever did that acquisition is genius. They're able to buy a building, and now they're doing R&D, and they convince their shareholders, buy the building, and we're going to do medical marijuana, and we can't sell it. It's merely for research and development. They said, do it. They bought the building. Austin is the only city in the state of Texas that has medical marijuana use, right? Now when it goes to El Paso, when it goes to Houston, when it goes to San Antonio, when it goes to Dallas, right? Fort Worth, when it goes to Lubbock, when it goes to Odessa, the city council members are gonna freaking take years to adopt a policy, right? This ordinance. Who's gonna be the juggernaut that's gonna be distributing the entire recreational use of marijuana in the state of Texas?
Austin's gonna be the first
Fucking Pfizer.
But it's already, okay, I've been to Austin.
But my point is, that's
What's
the
legal
point,
there?
though.
It's legal to sell weed there?
Yep, if you have a marijuana card. Nobody knows that, because Texas is, you have a
No,
joint,
but
they fucking arrest your ass. Not anymore. There's like a 2 ounce, or I think 1 or 2 ounces that you're able to carry for personal use. My point is, you have to understand whoever that genius was, is gonna, Pfizer is gonna be the leading distributor in the entire state of Texas. I just said it. There's 3 golden states: California, New York, Texas. Nobody's gonna be able to compete with Pfizer. And if you do, it's gonna take you 2 years to open shop, because you're gonna have city council members voting yes, no. They take it to the vote. Now, you can put it on the ballot. Let's get enough signatures. Now the people want it. Okay, good. Now pass it. Now he's being a prick because he's the city manager, and he's saying this and saying that, and now the city council can't do shit because he's the one that says yay or nay to shit. Now the fucking department, the planning department, signs with this fool. Now next thing is, now you can't get your shit signed off. We couldn't get
And then
over
when
here.
it's all done, you have the fire department that
Yes.
comes in and
I was gonna say that.
Fucking
So,
balls.
so the fire department is contracted up to the Leo doesn't have their own fire department. They contract to LA County. So when we were gonna open,
unless you
the
know the
fucking
chief.
fire chief came over here and said, "You can't open. You have no fire. You have no fire suppression system, which is a fancy word for sprinkler systems."
Right.
We're like, motherfuckers, we're just bleeding money and all these obstacles. I've been there, guys. I know how to navigate my fucking business and this extremely well, better than most people. And because I've done all the failings, I've hit all the barriers, and this is why we're here. This is why it's interesting. I mean, this is what drives me. This is what gets me going, because I have answers. I have solutions. I don't have, well, let me get back to it. No, I'll be like, no, we're gonna do this. My partner for a minute, like, well, you fucking come up with answers right away. I said, well, yeah, because I've experienced all the bullshit in the past. So what do you want me to do, dog? Sorry. I have all the solutions, you know?
I mean, that's I always say it's like you got problems, I got answers.
Yeah.
And solutions. And at the end of the day, when I first started with Desert Hot Springs, all I did was land acquisitions. I also have a real estate license for the last 17 years. So, and I used to run a mortgage company with a California Financial Lenders license. So, I went out there, purchased 2-acre parcels, like 10 of those 2-acre parcels, and then at $150,000, 120 days later, sold them for $450,000. Why? Because I was there consulting, but I wasn't part of the application process, and just left them enough information, and then stepped away, and let the process take its course. And it was, to me, it was a done deal. It seemed like the council was gonna vote in favor, and 120 days later, the fucking shit, every piece of land there just skyrocketed.
Marijuana prices.
Yeah, and that was off of Two Bunch Palms and Two Bunch Palms and what's the other cross? But that first section up on away from the
Dylan.
Dillon's and Coachella.
With the city of Needles, bro, I'm telling you.
Yeah, when you said Needles,
very first city to get a cultivation license in the state of California. So I've been blessed to be in a lot of very first cities. We're going to be the first $1 trillion company, I'll tell you that much right now.
$4. Coachella, some of the places in Coachella, like Coachella Grow, Del Grow, was wanting to charge $4.50 a square foot to grow, to rent space. When it was there,
Yeah.
for like 50 cents a square
50 cents a
foot.
square foot. City of Needles, bro. I mean, you got.
You need to
Like Barron
renegotiate
warehouse.
with your,
Pardon?
you need to renegotiate with your landlord.
You know what? It's that's another subject matter.
That's when you start looking for efficiencies, right? Because back, what, 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
There was not as much opportunity. Now, in 2020, I was telling the industry up in Canada, just sit back and wait. You're gonna see that there's gonna be cannabis foreclosures, is what I call it.
Of course.
And that's where we're at today, right?
Canada gladiators.
But that's the sad part, because we're not able to take out loans. We can't go to any lending institution for a business loan because we're not recognized by the federal government. That's the sad part, because your mom and papa shops that can open are like, there was 19 of us here out of 1,000 applicants.
And we're over regulated too. I mean, that deregulation has to happen.
I don't mind regulations, because regulations are put there for a reason.
Right.
And I think it's there for safety. I think it's there for bad actors. I'm not saying, like, I feel that regulations are rules that need to be applied and implied, right? Because if you don't do these things, then you're gonna have stuff going out the back door. You're gonna have a lot of things that shouldn't be happening in our industry, because you gotta treat it like any other industry.
It's like the alcohol industry.
Correct.
You still have people creating moonshine, right? but the fraction of that is tiny, and that's what has to happen
But
here.
moonshine is as for personal use, or you might sell it to your.
They're not knocking off.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not knocking off like in Mexico. They're just straight out substituting and poisoning people.
Correct. That's the difference. You're buying in volume and you're selling to consumers for consumer use. That's the difference. There's a huge difference in moonshine within you have your black market weed that somebody's growing in the garage. If you're a consumer and you're allowed by the state of California, which you are, to grow, I think 6 and 6, right? That's fine. That's for your own personal use. How you want to put pesticides in at equal 20? That's on you. That's on you. But the minute you said that you're now selling it to him and he's paying for it and you are poisoning him, shame on you. You should be put in jail.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the bottom line. You know, it's about, that's why I believe regulations are important, especially at the consumer level. And so I was going with this with the lending part, right?
Right.
The fact of the matter is, 5 years from now, bro, the fact is there's gonna be a crisis where there's gonna be a lot of M&As, mergers and acquisitions, right? There's gonna be a lot of people coming in buying distressed companies. The cannabis market wasn't made for the small person to survive. There was 19 of us here in the city of Lynn, there was only 5 of us and 3 operating. Why? Because we can't get loans. If I would, the next thing that I want to do is CannaTek is able to do a lot of things. I didn't want to go off on such a tangent, but I'll tell you this much right now. If you came to me and I went to my shareholders with CannaTek, right? You raised the $50 million, right? And I went to the shareholders and I tell them, hey, guys, Ray and Omar, they need a small business loan. $50,000, okay? I'll do the vetting. I bet him. I said, okay, this guy has, he's operating. I looked at his books. He's not the best business owner, but he needs a $50,000 loan just to get by for the next 2 weeks, right? To pay maybe some people on terms, right? But it's cheaper than the vape that they're putting on it, right? Now he's actually making money because he's paying the product back at a cheaper interest, right? So he's making money. And now CannaTek is now that $50,000 loan is getting paid back at an APR. You're making money off of other people's necessities, but it's a good form of passing a torch and a helping hand at the same time. But if you don't have those small business loans, so you can't get by, you're digging a hole, you can't get out of it. So that's why these Pfizer, Modelo's the very first beer company. You probably didn't know that. That what? Modelo? Very first beer company to buy cannabis license.
Constellation invested $200 and something million,
$2
billion, right?
So gentlemen, that being said, they're gonna be buying these distressed companies because mama and papa companies can't afford to survive because they don't have shareholders. They're not a middleman. They don't have these deep pockets with venture capitalist groups. They're not a Pfizer. They're not a Costco. And then you're going to see people that are passionate about this industry that just need a little bit of education, right? A little bit of a helping hand. Could CannaTek do it? Hell yeah, I could do it. CannaTek could do it because I'll be able to vet and be like, look, if you can't pay back the loan, I'm gonna put a lien on your licenses. That's it. I got a lien on your license, bro, but let me help you out. We'll wash the loan, but now we're majority shareholder, right? You're still gonna keep 40%, but we're gonna change your business model because you're not a good businessman. Or I'm gonna put a lien on your licenses and now you can't open and you're fucked.
Majority.
The IMF of cannabis in the house.
That's a leverage. That's
Gentlemen,
I love
it's
it.
business.
It's business.
It's business, bro.
I joke.
These
but
are
I
the people
say
that are in your
IMF
system.
It's business, bro. And the shareholders will say, okay, wash it, because we got a fucking bargain, because this guy...
It's a deal's a deal.
It's a great deal because we paid $50,000 and we just acquired another fucking company that now we manage We co-manage and he doesn't lose his business and we retrain him. You have to follow these SOPs because you don't know how to purchase. You don't know your cost of goods. You don't know your overhead expenditures. You don't know your run rate or your burn rate. So we're gonna have Omar come in and teach Ray
Exactly.
with a fucking how to run a business. And now he's like, fuck, dude, I'm happy that I'm not a majority shareholder. Because you know what, I'm actually making more at 40% than when I was 100% owner. Because you guys fixed my business. It's a very simple solution, guys. I'm not here to fuck anybody. I'm here to help people. But sometimes you need a.
No, it's classic though. I
Pardon?
like, but it's fucking, makes sense.
Yes, my friend. And the shareholders will say yes, and you know what happens? Our portfolio grows. And then when Pfizer, Costco, Modelo, Sam's Club, Walmart, when they come in and they fucking have, they see your business, your portfolio, you're no longer worth 50 million. You're worth 500 million. 1.2 billion because all the
No, more, yeah.
gentlemen, that's called AUM, assets under management. That's what CannaTek does. And it wasn't thought of yesterday. I know he's not a good business owner. I'm gonna fucking help you. I'm gonna give you a loan and I hope you do well. And I hope you fucking paid us back. We still made money. And then he comes for another loan. Fucking shareholders are fucking happy. He's happy because he's getting what he wants, and he's good at paying bills. But sometimes you hit a fucking wall and you just need that one. But you're like, hey, I want to pass it along to my family. I want to give up control. I'm a control freak.
And the share price of the holding company continues to rise.
Yeah. So guys, it's not done in a malicious way. It's just designed.
Like you said, it's business, and it's not preconceived to kill the industry.
No.
But by the organic nature of business, mergers and acquisitions are going to happen.
Yes.
Consolidation is going to happen, and then efficiencies are going to start creating.
Yeah.
And those efficiencies, for example, at this level where you're at today, an efficiency that I see in your system is that $23,000 monthly nut that you have to pay when there is opportunities elsewhere where it's $1.50, $1.35.
I agree.
And you have the same facility. But not that has to happen today, but I'm just saying that's what eventually will happen.
Correct.
You start creating efficiencies within the system. And that's not new for this industry.
No.
This is an ongoing thing for everything, for biotech, for the automobile industry, for everything else that has exist.
Yep.
Zippers, even zippers. I mean, there's a level of, there's only so much you could squeeze out of it.
I agree. And let me just, lastly, what I'm going to speak upon for CannaTek. When you have this IP, this intellectual property and an NFT, and Pfizer buys the licenses, the brands are the only thing that are going to be survivable. Because you can't compete against Walmart. They operate, and Costco, they operate at 13% margins. Because they buy in volume. You can't compete. But you know who can compete? If you create a brand. The brand has all the IP and SOPs. If you buy, that's why McDonald's is great. Big Mac here in LA and buy a Big Mac in fucking New York, tastes the fucking same. You're buying the SOPs and the IP that's digitizing the NFT. This is bigger than what you guys. I'm just throwing more meat on the bone. I'm not taking meat off this motherfucking turned it from a fucking sausage to a T-bone juicy ass steak right now. And that is fact, my friends. And this is 100% fact.
This was gonna change also is the food industry too.
Yep.
That's what me and Sal and everything, we're working together and everything. He's working in the cannabis. We're gonna start working on the food industry too.
Nice.
Yeah, because you're able to track your traditional fucking food. If you buy a real organic fucking piece of meat, it's real organic piece of
You're
meat.
getting your
Grass-fed fucking meat.
even your honey. That's so much too.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Sal,
Yes, sir.
very informative.
Thank
I really appreciate this. This is the stuff that I like looking at in systems and poking holes. The only challenge for me is that I have not dug deep into the NFTs and the blockchains and the V-chains. I just have enough, scratched the surface enough to understand it, but not take a super deep dive, which is what I usually do, is take a super deep dive into it and then start trying to poke holes into the system.
That's not your job. Your job is to raise 50 million.
I got you. I got you. But before
Your job is to raise
but
50 million.
the 50 million is I like to understand what I'm gonna be putting. No, but I get it. I get it. I understand it. I get it. As you probably noticed, that I was ahead
Absolutely.
of some of the things that you were saying,
Yes,
and
you
kind
were.
of quickly picking up on it, and I can totally 110% be behind this and 110% push it and use all my resources, because at the end of the day, if I'm part of a team like this, we all get to eat at the dinner table.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a feast. This is not lunch. This is a turkey dinner. You know, on November 28th or whenever Thanksgiving is.
It is, and the fact of the matter is, guys, this is, like I said, it's this wasn't about a win. You know,
No.
I'm not a tech guy. I just had the ability to create solutions and utilize the person that was around me. And I'm telling you, Billy would come over here and fix something, right? This motherfucker, I'm like, hey, dude, charge me for this, right? I'm like, fucker. All right. Took him out to fucking steak dinner. Spent like $300 at the steak dinner. And the next day he sends me an invoice. I'm like, hey, Dick, I took you out to steak dinner, spent $300 something, and you sent me a $125 fucking invoice for you coming over to fucking press F9 and enter on my fucking computer.
That was business.
He goes, that was business.
The other one was
He goes,
pleasure.
I thought that was business. The fucking dinner was pleasure. I'm like, you motherfucker. I go, fuck. So when I confined, it took me 2.5 years to convince him to jump on board, and he like, I was Billy. I couldn't explain it right. It was all in my head.
Right.
And then I started doing little things, and this was my champion right here, the whiteboard. And I laid it all out.
I have 3 in my
I
office.
love that, bro. Fuck.
I call it my war room, because that's the only way
Yeah.
I get
Vision.
my ideas down
Yeah.
on something before it goes anywhere.
Yeah, and so 2.5 years later, he says, I'm in, 100% in. I said, well, hold on, fool, because I don't need these fucking scary ass invoices, because this is a lot of work. You know, there's a lot of fucking work. You know, I got overhead here and shit. So I said, how much are you charging? He goes, no, I'm in.
So it's all sweat equity, Billy? Is that what you told me?
Yeah.
It's all sweat equity, right?
He goes, I'm in, bro. I'm in. I get it. Fucking hit me like a bag of bricks, bro. I get it. This is fuck amazing. And we've been going hard for the last 2.5 years. That's why we're in Belize. We're going back to El Salvador, trying to see if we can make it, you know, at the end of the month to go sign with it. You know, and these are just little things that I have. There's a lot more to what, even what Omar and I are doing together, because this blockchain technology through CannaTek is. I have a buddy George, and this is for the next time. I know we all gotta go. My buddy George has been working for. He was headhunted from Northgate to Pavilions, all these. And so what he does like forensic accounting, right? So his shrink, which is loss in a company, in a grocery store. He's got his, to me, I told him to get about 10%, 8%, 10%. He's like, nah, bro, you crazy? I'm like, well, higher? We'll hire, because there's a grocery store, there's a lot of shrink. There's spoilage, there's fucking people thieving, you know, you're not doing correct inventory, there's, you know, you're in a big warehouse in the back with shit that's piled up in the back that you never get. So I said, so what is your, it was, well, 2%. 2% shrink, 2% loss. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, dude, no wonder Northgate wound up fucking beating Pavilions and paid him $50,000 more a year. Northgate, bro. Fucking. Yeah, Mexican company said, fuck you, Pavilions, we're taking him back. And they fucking paid him an extra $50,000. Well, I'm going somewhere with this. With the food, he's gone to all these food warehouses. He goes, bro, because he heard this, because he wants to come in the cannabis space. I go, fucking, what you've done over there and what you'll do here is the same thing. There's UPS codes on everything. You don't have to, I don't smoke, I don't either. I go out there and fucking torch. I torch more now with this fool right here because I'm with him all the time. And he smokes.
Good weed.
Yeah, he smokes good weed. He don't smoke booth, right? So now I burn more now than I have in the last 30 years with him. And it's like maybe once a week. But I don't smoke.
I made weed enjoyable for this man.
Yeah.
I smoked myself sober in college, and then I just try to stay sharp. And so once in
Yeah.
a while, when I need to just abstract, I'll just go
Yep. And so George says, hey, dude.
think.
And so I go, I want. He goes, yeah, I need a transition, bro. I need to do something different. He goes, bro, I will find every fucking seed, every little twig. I'll fucking find it. I'll make sure that your company's 2% or less. I'm like, hell yeah. Can't wait to get on board.
Those are great.
So he tells me, he goes, bro, I see this and I can see it happening in the grocery store. In the grocery business, fuck. And I'm like, why? This is before Omar came back. I said, why do you say it? He goes, because, dude, there's warehouses like yours, like 50 of them, like these food warehouses. There's apples and oranges and there's miles of fucking warehouses. We go in there, we just pick the vendor, and then we just slap a label on it, it says organic. And I said, you kidding me? He said, no. He said, I'm not kidding you. I've been in these fucking food warehouses. I've been doing this for over 30 years, so. I'm like, oh, are you fucking? He says, no. That is fucked up, bro. And this is the things that us general public don't know. This is from an insider. You know, he's like, no, dude, I go like this is part of my friends' duties that I do this shit. And we'll go, this, what you created here, goes into the fucking food industry, change the whole fucking world. Because it's accountability. You're accountable for this shit.
You going home?
Yeah.
That's all, folks.